going on, everybody? You already know what it is. My name is Raymond Stavola, and in my world, I don't care what you've done. What have you done lately? I want to thank everybody coming back for another episode. Big salute out to all you guys out there. Got a very special episode today. Before we get there, I just want to thank some special sponsors out there. Chickies and Pete's. I mean, like I always say, get them garlic beef mussels, get them crab fries, definitely a couple cold beers with you. Iron Steel Threads. Use Olde City 10 for 10% off their site. SeatGeek. Use promo code Olde City Sports Network for 20% off your first purchase. Warlord Beard Oil. Use Old Sports 15% off of your beards, oil, washes, soaps, and so much more. Orders are $65. Get you free shipping. And like I said last episode, who the fuck don't like some free shipping? Riverlily Coffee Company. Visit them on Instagram. Also, Polish Commercial Cleaning. And let's get right into it. So I want to my special guest here, Eves, Birds Down Under, international fan of the Philadelphia motherfucking Eagles. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing very well. Thank you so much for having me on. This is an absolute honor. It's the first time I've really spoken to anyone from Philadelphia about the Birds via the internet. Awesome. I've been to Philly before, but this is an awesome experience, and thank you so much for having me on.
Dude, it's an honor. And the first thing that I noticed about you is that you do some great artwork, man. That's what, when you do like your weeks and everything like that, how do you make them that artwork? I mean, you don't have to tell me your special sauce, but like, is it just come off the top?
I am going to give you the special sauce because I'm going to take no credit for it whatsoever. It is my ideas. So I put the ideas into the ether, and by the ether, it's ChatGPT.
Hey, you know what? Hey, I hate to say, but AI is kind of crazy, man. I use it all the time too, but it's very cool, man. And it really intrigues me because, again, living in America, I like international soccer. I like AC Milan and stuff like that. But how did an Aussie like yourself end up being a Philadelphia Eagles fan?
Yeah, it's a crazy story. So I have my stepdad's nephews who were football fans themselves. So they were Green Bay Packers fans. And I watched them. They played Madden. I played Madden with them. This is going back in 2003. So this is going back a little while ago. And I wanted to support a team. Mm-hmm. I've always been enamored by larger-than-life characters. And in 2004, the Philadelphia Eagles acquired a more than larger-of-life character. And I'm wondering if you can think of who that is.
2004, larger-than-life. You know what? I want to hear what you say. Go ahead.
Number 81, Terrell Owens.
That's it, baby.
And I was enamored by him. I was enamored by his talent on the football field, but his personality, he didn't care what the media thought of him. He didn't care what he didn't even care what his coach thought of him. He was kind of attracted to me. But funny enough, the actual player who I got the most attracted to when I saw him play was Javon Curse.
Yeah.
So I've always been a fan of the athleticism, and he was a big boy, super athletic. There was a reason they called him the Freak. Yeah. And I'm like, do you know what? That's my team. And it all started from there.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, when we got Terrell Owens, I mean, it was a magical thing. I mean, it's a shame he got injured that year, but he played his ass off in the Super Bowl, and he was larger than life. During that time, Don McNabb obviously was our quarterback. I get a lot of heat out here because I like Donovan. I think statistically, if you look at the stats, he did give us winning games with, I don't think, great receivers until a person like T.O. But if I could go back in time and keep either McNabb or T.O., I would have kept T.O. 100%.
Look, he was phenomenal. He was a game changer.
Do you remember his first play?
No.
Touchdown.
Unfortunately not.
Touchdown.
It was a lot harder back in 2004 to watch football in Australia.
Yeah.
So obviously time zone's been a massive factor, but even just the access to it now with the internet and things like Game Pass, we do have a lot more access, but back then it was so hard.
Yeah, I'm going to definitely send you the link after our pod here, man. It's the coolest thing ever. He lines up and just fucking burns everybody. It's pretty cool. So obviously our time zone difference, we're like 10,000 miles away from each other right now. It's 8:38 p.m. my time. What time is it right there for you?
It is 12:30 p.m. here, so it's midday.
Okay. So what time do you got to get up to watch the Birds?
That varies throughout the year. So at the start of the year, so what would be your 1 p.m. Sunday games, I believe, is the main time slot. That's at 3 a.m. for the start of the year. 3 a.m. on a Monday. So I get up.
Mhm.
at 3 a.m., set my alarm, watch the birds, hopefully win, and then go on with my day ready for work.
So when you came to Philly, did you get a chance to get adjusted to the time zone difference? Did you just land, party, or right to the game?
No, look, it was good. I traveled a little bit through Canada first, so that kind of adjusted me to the time zones. Funny enough, I was actually quite unwell when I got to Philadelphia. I had a really bad cold, but a tailgate always clears that up.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Now, when you were in Philly, what was your favorite food you had? You get a couple cheesesteaks?
I did. I think I went to one called Tony Luke's, I believe
Yeah,
it's
totally
called.
down there. Yeah.
So right next to, so I stayed right next to Lincoln Financial Field. Just I thought I was doing a stadium tour. I was going to the game. I'm like, I might as well stay close.
Mhm.
Walking back, I saw this place and I tried it. I did go to Philly in 2016. I didn't unfortunately get to go to a game, but I went to
Mhm.
Angelo's then.
Okay, yeah, yeah. If you ever
And
come back again, try Phillips Steaks.
okay,
Yeah, the Phillips. They're in the intro too, man. I swear, my daughter even she'll be like at midnight on like a Saturday night. She's like, "Dad, I need a cheesesteak." I'm like, I need a whiz wit. Just head right down on there, man. You won't go wrong. Um, so first Super Bowl was pretty good, man, wasn't it?
it was
2017. Yeah.
unbelievable, right? So in that year, obviously Carson was having his record-breaking year, and it was awesome. And when he went down, like any team now, you lose your starting quarterback who was on the way to win the MVP. You're thinking it's over, and I thought it was over. And then Nick came in. He actually, a lot of people actually forget this. He actually played pretty averagely up until the Vikings game. He just got us by, and then come that Viking game, he just became a world beater. And it was awesome. The Super Bowl since that time has actually grown drastically in Australia. So this is going back now 8 years ago. I
Wow.
watched it at a small bar with about 20, 30 people, most of which actually didn't know anything about the sport. And I'm sitting there crying on the floor when we won. So look, it was awesome. And it was obviously the first time I got to celebrate success as an Eagles fan. Obviously, we had all those NFC championship games, which never equated to anything. We had the Super Bowl in 05 or 04, which was, we ran into the train that was Tom Brady at the time.
Yeah.
So to have that success and some of the memories from that game. So you got like the Corey Clemens catch, the Zach Ertz catch,
That
and
was
then
amazing.
obviously
Yeah.
it was special.
Yeah. So in your ranking of sports, now, of course, I'm sure you have other sports. Would you say that first Super Bowl was the best championship you ever seen for yourself? Because it was for me. I didn't know if it still resonates with you. Is the Birds your favorite team of any sport?
The Birds are my favorite team, without
Nice.
doubt. And no, to be honest, I'm actually going to put last year's ahead of it, and there's a reason for that. So I've built a little bit of a community here in Australia. We have over 650 members of Philadelphia Eagles Australia, Birds Down Under.
Wow.
And I actually got to watch the game with about 25 other Birds fans. And we were there hugging, crying, and like I've literally got goosebumps now thinking about it. They're an amazing community. So I was there with my family watching the game. So as much as 2017 held significance because it was our first, the one this year, or the last Super Bowl, was, I think, just put it above, just because of the environment that I was in and the people that I was with, and also the game was we were done by the second quarter, so we just got to enjoy it.
Yeah, that was a belt to ass game. I was fortunate enough to go to both of the parades. I mean, amazing times. That last Super Bowl, though, like, I had to, like, because after we had the halftime lead, the one we lost previously, I had like a little PTSD. I'm like, I don't want to get too excited yet, And man, they just really fucked them up, and it was nice to see. Like, they beat the shit out of them. But yeah, I'll tell you what, for me, of course, you always remember your first. That was an amazing Super Bowl. And then I feel like we got there again, and to lose it, I forgot what it felt like, because we were so confident that year. Everything was going right. And the way we ended it, I really believe we just ended the Chiefs dynasty. I mean, if you look this year, they weren't the same. Mahomes was finally, I mean, again, I don't want to see injuries, but they were not the same team from last year's Super Bowl loss.
No, look, I think we really rocked them on that day. And look, they were lucky to scrape into the Super Bowl. They funny enough, there's kind of a bit of a correlation between our season this year and their season last year. So they had a lot of those lucky wins, winning by less than one score and just scraping by. Now, thankfully, last week we kind of redeemed that. But there's a kind of correlation. But they're a cook team. I think Patty Mahomes has still got it. I think if anyone says he doesn't, I think they're kind of ignorant to the point.
Yeah.
Travis Kelce is cooked. I love Travis. Obviously, Travis is the brother of Jason, so he's always going to have a spot in my heart. But he's cooked. He needs to call it quits before he ruins his legacy. Chris Jones, I'm not a big fan of, to be honest, and Jalen Hurts showed him that this year.
Yeah.
And look, their dynasty's broken, but I believe we still have the potential as a team to still continue that dynasty. We just got to tweak a few things.
Yeah, and that leads me right into my next question. And again, during this, man, we don't have to agree on things, and it's grown conversation. And you know what? At the end of the day, we're Birds fans. I don't know how you feel. I want to hear about it, but I'm a Jalen Hurts supporter. I believe he is a winner. I believe he has won all through his high school years, his college years, professional years. He's brought us to Super Bowl. Do I think he's had bad games? 100%. I think it's humans. We have bad days. That bounce back game against the Raiders showed us again. And I don't want to hear, whatever, from all my viewers, they roast me all the time sometimes. It was still a big win. How do you feel about Jalen Hurts as our franchise quarterback right now?
I've never been more confident in a player.
Nice.
I look at his demeanor, and I think for me, for him to walk off the sideline when something goes bad and just to stay composed, because I believe the sign of a strong player is a confidence in himself, and he's super confident in himself. And I have faith in him. I believe he's got, and let's look at it from a personality point of view, that the team loves him, the team rallies behind him. He's great for the city. He's great with the fans. From a footballing point of view, I believe we haven't unlocked his true potential this year, and we started to do that a little bit last week with using his running game. And he has one of the nicest deep balls I've seen.
Yeah.
So once we unlock all of that.
Yeah. And I feel like, leaders move in silence at times. Of course, you need a big voice. And of course, we don't know what's going on in that locker room. I mean, nobody does. You play football. Tell me about it a little bit. Yeah.
So, obviously, it's not so large in Australia. I played for a team called the UTS Gators, which is a university associated team. It's great. Look, it further cemented my love for the sport. So before I was a fan, I loved the team, but I never got into the intricacies of the play. But since actually playing football myself, so I played for 5 years, I played offensive line, and I've got into the X's and O's of everything. And that's my favorite part about football now. So I'm the type of person to sit down and watch the All-22 film and analyze it and see where the issues are. I'm the type of person to listen to the podcast, and I'm going to give a shout out to a couple of people. So there's the, I forgot their name now, Eagles Film Room. So the Shane Half does a great analysis of film. But look, I love that part of football. I'm a massive football nerd in that regard. I love watching football, even if it's not the Eagles. So with our time zone in Australia, I'm going to go a little bit off tangent. I actually end up working from home a lot of the time when football's on.
Okay.
So I have a team. So where I'm sitting now is my office. So I sit here and I work from here. When I'm not in a meeting, the TV behind me has football on. When I am in a meeting, the screen on the right of me has a football on.
so it's surrounded by you.
Yeah. But in regards to playing in Australia, we have some phenomenal athletes here. I think we have some of the best athletes in the world, whilst I think the sport still has a long way to go here and it still has a long way to grow. I believe there is potential. We obviously have an Australian in our team, which is last year got rated the best offensive player via PFF. Now, that's a massive achievement for someone who hasn't played, but we even got some more coming through. So, funny enough, this week it got announced that a player that I used to play with is going to the IPP, International Player Pathway Program, that Jordan came through.
Oh, wow.
So, that it just goes to show the talent that we have here. A lot of them coming from the Samoan Polynesian community. So they're very, very physically scary. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, they're earth movers. You look at them and the way that they play. And hey, look, rugby's a tough sport. You know what I mean? It's a whole different type of animal. And when you're getting hit, you're getting hit. So to see how it is now with the way you're saying they're going through they're catching up the way that we do it. But how would you say the Eagles would dominate in like an Aussie rules football game? Do you think it's two different things, the way Australian football is, obviously, in that? Let's go to the X's and O's on that.
I don't watch Aussie rules football, so I watch rugby, which is what Jordan came from.
Yeah,
I'm 6'4". I'm nearly 350 pounds. Aussie rules football is for the
you're pushing people around too, man. You ain't no little dude, man. You're definitely getting into it.
So I'll compare rugby to American football.
Okay,
I believe it is easier for an American football player to transition to rugby than it is for a rugby player to transition to American football.
Gotcha.
Because rugby is predominantly skill, physical based, where American football, there is a lot more mental to it. It's like Jordan Mailata put this in a perfect word. It's physical chess, right? Where rugby is more, hey, if you're faster and stronger than the next person, you're going to be better than them.
For sure. So when it comes to the fans, how would you explain Eagles fans to Australians fans in regards to our cultures? Both passionate, but how would you say we're different?
Passion is something I believe is you will never see a fan base so entrenched in the culture of the actual team. The team will dictate. So I'm going to ask you, as someone who lives there, what is the mood like in the city when the Birds lose?
Oh, forget about it. If you lose on Sunday, don't talk to me on Monday. I'm pissed as fuck. I'm hungover. My whole day is ruined. Like, again, I don't care what it is. Nobody that's a true fan loves to see the Birds lose, man. And it does alter the way we move. 100%.
And for me, that's what I'll tell people. It's like, we have here, don't get me wrong, there's some fans of sports here. They're very passionate, but there is no difference. There is no comparison. The fandom in Philadelphia. Now, I don't know if it's like this for the rest of the NFL, but with my experience with the Eagles fans, they are so passionate. They love their team so much. And even for me, right, when I went to Philadelphia as an Australian and people heard that I was there as an Australian, that I love the Birds, they all got around me, hugged me, and they treated me like I was one of their own. And that made it so much more special. Like, I felt like, it's funny enough, I've been to Philadelphia twice. I'm 33 years old. And when I went there, I felt like I was home.
Oh, yeah.
And I was there for 3 days.
Yeah, you rock the colors. Everyone's saying go Birds. Everyone's saying what's up to you. Like, it's just a community, and it's a whole bunch of passion. And I do feel like our fan base gets some heat. Now, this is where I keep it real. There is some fans, and it's every fans of any organization across the world. I mean, you have some ones that are like extremists, and I feel like there's some that alcohol takes too much, and they do put like a black eye on us. I don't know if you heard they egged Kevin Patullo's house. You hear about that?
Look, that was a bit too far for my liking. I think that's a stretch too far.
I feel like there's a moment where like it doesn't need to go there. But again, they don't represent all of us and who we are. You know what I mean? Majority of the people don't agree in that. Majority of us are like, what are you doing? And I feel like the media picks up whenever they see an Eagles fan do something bad, and not the millions of experiences where we do positive things, to be honest with you. I think there is a lot of camaraderie. I think there's a lot of great things that fans do, whether it be charitable work, and it never gets covered. But I guess, media always has to do like a clickbait. So, it's unfortunate. But when you go out, you said you have a place you like to watch the games, right? You have a certain bar?
Yeah, we have one that we kind of go to as a group. It's called the Sherwood. Not going to mean much to everyone, but we get there together. So we've had about 3 events there that we watch the games. It's quite hard, right? Just due to the time zones. Most times games are on a Monday or a Tuesday. So a Sunday night football game will be on a Monday at midday. A Thursday night football game is on a Friday at midday. And a Sunday night football game is on a Tuesday at midday. So we all work. We all have bills to pay. So we can't, unfortunately, get together every time. But when there is a big occasion, so as an example, the Super Bowl, we all got together, which was awesome. The opening game, so that was obviously we wanted to be there to see us raising the banner, to watch Jalen Carter spit on Dak Prescott. We all got together for that. And look, that was at 10 a.m. Look, and I'm so impressed with the fans here. And it may not seem like much to the people in Philadelphia, but we're able to get 15 people to a bar at 10 a.m. on a Friday to watch a sport 10,000 miles away.
Yeah,
I think that's...
Dude, I mean, it starts somewhere, definitely. And again, it's just, I know there's fans everybody, like you said, 10,000 miles away in a sport that's really not there on days that typically people would be at work, like a Monday morning. We get Monday Night Football. So we're not, we already went to work. We already had some drink. You guys are literally just eating your breakfast and getting shit ready to go, man. That's that's dedication. That shows the passion behind it. So when it comes to game day food, what's your favorite food to eat? Any traditions or anything like that?
Oh, look, it's a little bit different for us here because it's usually a breakfast food. So honestly, my breakfast is dictated by whatever my daughter wants to eat. So I've got a 2-year-old at home
God bless
who
you.
also loves the Eagles as well. So which is awesome. So whatever she wants. So toast, eggs, pancakes. We're not big on pancakes as much as Americans are. We love our coffee. We love our coffee here, and I'm going to upset a lot of people in Philadelphia. You guys do not know what coffee is. Australia has the best coffee in the world, hands down.
Nice.
So if you're ever going to travel to Australia, have a coffee. First thing you should do.
Okay, I'm definitely going to do that. I'll tell you what, me, some mornings, man, I'm sitting there having a cheesesteak or some Chinese food. So, like, you know what I mean? If it's game day, I get rocking and rolling. It's kind of like when we had like the international games. You know, we had games in London, Germany. So that's like 9 in the morning here on the East Coast, Philly. What time do those games start for you? So if it's like 9 in London,
usually about midnight, about 12 p.m.
Wow.
12 a.m. Sorry, apologies.
Wow.
Yeah, they are. Thankfully, we haven't had too much of them. And lucky enough, we actually have. It's not the Eagles, unfortunately, but the Rams are coming to Australia next year, so they're coming down to play a game.
That's dinner. Now, do you think that'll pull a big crowd?
Look, I don't think the Rams themselves will pull a big crowd, but I think they'll pull football fans. So I know myself, I'll be traveling. So it's in another state, but I'll be traveling and getting a hotel to watch. Because again, as much as I love the Eagles and the Eagles are my love, I also love football. So to go to watch an NFL game live in my home country, I would absolutely love to do it. And I've heard rumors and inklings that the year after, in 2027, so there's a 3-year agreement, that the Eagles will be coming. So the Philadelphia Eagles actually have marketing rights in Australia.
Oh, wow.
So you tend to find, and most fans in Australia, and I'm being very biased here, the Eagles are the most dominant fan base here in Australia.
That's nice. Yeah. Let me ask you, is there a lot of Flyers fans in Australia as well? I heard there's some Flyer bases out there now.
No, look, I know what you tend to find, and this is what I've noticed with my fan group, is that, and I'm the same as well. So once I have a team, so for example, I go for the Eagles, and because I go for the Eagles, I've automatically gone for the Sixers, and I've automatically gone for the Flyers, and I've automatically gone for the Phillies.
Yep.
Now, whilst I'm not a big fan of those sports, probably basketball is a second sport to football in regards to those ones, I've automatically gone, do you know what? I'm subscribed to all the beat reporters, all the Philadelphia podcasts, all the Philadelphia news feeds. So I kind of just latch myself to those teams. But yeah, look, there isn't a mature fan base. There is a decent 76ers fan base here. Obviously, basketball is a big sport here in Australia. But when it comes to Phillies and the Flyers, I believe there's still some room to grow.
Gotcha. So we're talking all the good things, everything like that. And, you know, being a Birds fan comes with some bad years. Do you remember a year that was like probably the most emotionally draining to be a Birds fan, just like it was for us?
2023, hands down, not even close.
Ooh, tell me about it.
I think we went from the high of the Super Bowl, right? We got there, we just lost. I'm like, do you know what? We ran into the dynasty of the Chiefs. We'll be back the next year, and then come back the next year. And then we started, I think we were 10-1 at one stage in 2023.
Yeah.
And then it just went downhill from there. You had the skeleton of James Bradbury out there killing us. We had Sean Desai over to Matt Patricia, which was horrible.
Yeah.
We had Jalen's regression under Brian Johnson. And just, look, do you know what? I'm going to compare it to 2020, right? 2020, we were a bad team, but I knew we were a bad team. And it didn't hurt us badly. And it was kind of like, okay, look, we're a bad team, but we're building for the future. We have a good selection, and we have a good position in the draft to draft someone well. We got Devonta Smith. So I was like optimistic, but in 2023, we were meant to go to that next step. We didn't lose that much talent, right? Especially on offense. We still had AJ Brown, Devonta Smith, Jalen Hurts, Miles Sanders. Sorry, DeAndre Swift. It wasn't Miles then. Dallas got it. We still had that. We had Lane Johnson, Jordan Mailata, Jason Kelsey. So I thought, hey, we still have the bones of this team to make sure we go further. And just the way we crumbled. And the two losses that resonate with me that year is the loss against the Seahawks when we lost to Drew Lock.
Yeah,
and the loss against the Cardinals. That was, I think they were like 2-13 at that stage, and we lost to them. And for me, I was like, that's it. We're done for. And that was the most emotionally draining year for me as a fan.
Yeah, that Drew Lock game was brutal, man. That was horrible, man. To see, and he's not even that good of a quarterback. We made him look like he was like, somebody special. I was so pissed when that happened. So do you hate the Cowboys?
With all my heart and soul.
I love it. So
they're a failure of an organization. They're a failure of a football team. And they're a failure as a
Keep
fan
going.
base.
No, I'm sorry. The Cowboys, I'll tell you what, the worst is living in my area and seeing a Cowboys fan that never even stepped foot in Dallas. They're just haters. What's your, can I mean to cut you off? Tell me, what do you think about Cowboys fans?
Can I swear on here?
You can fucking say, you can say whatever the fuck you want.
Fuck the Dallas Cowboys, their fans, their organization, and their team.
They're trash, man. And you know what? I hate the fucking Giants. And because where I'm at, those years you had Eli Manning win, and people forget the Cowboys haven't won a Super Bowl in years, and the Giants were winning Super Bowls in between that. And going to New Jersey, which is right next to Philly out here, you get a lot of New York people down there, and they run their mouth, man. And they run it, and they run it, and they run it. And these are telling them shut the fuck up. So I am biased. I mean, I don't like either teams, but definitely the Giants I can't stand, and the Cowboys. The Commanders, they don't really never bothered me. We went to a game there. They don't even have like their own real fan base, to be honest with you. They're kind of just like the forgotten cousin in the family. Yeah, like they're like the forgotten cousin. Like they'll win the NFC East, but even last year, were you scared when we met them in the playoffs? Honestly, no.
I'm not scared of a Dan Quinn team.
No. How many times, dude? That Super Bowl he lost was horrible. He made that Patriots made an amazing comeback. The Falcons to lose that game, that guy should never coach another fucking game again. That was bad.
When you had at the time Matty Ryan and Julio Jones on your team, Julio Jones, I think people forget what Julio Jones was at that time. He was like behind Megatron. Honestly, that was some of the scariest performances I've ever seen. And for them to lose that while up 28-3 is an embarrassment. And then you want to come to Philadelphia. Your team wants to run their mouth. You want to be the media darlings. Everyone's like, the Commanders are going to walk all over the Eagles. Jaden Daniels, who, don't get me wrong, I think Jaden Daniels is a phenomenal player and has a great future ahead of him. Not in Washington. And then you go there, and then Saquon Barkley on the first. I was sitting in this garage. So I'm in my garage at the moment at home. I was sitting in this garage at 7 a.m. on a Monday morning, and Saquon Barkley, first play of the game, breaks off a 60-yard or 70-yard touchdown. That's how embarrassing you are as an organizer. Jordan Mailata is laughing as he's running up the field, and Saquon's running behind him. And you want to say you have a chance against the Eagles? Come on, get out of here.
Yeah,
sorry. I get very. Yeah. I am very passionate about this team.
Nah, dude, I love it, man. I'm telling you, it's just like if you were sitting next to me right now. I'm telling you, if you said that's why I can tell, man. Like you literally live, breathe the Eagles, man. That's why I appreciate it, man. Like I could just tell, like you fuck with the Eagles. I'll tell you what, we're playing them this week, and I don't even think the Commanders have a fucking shot, to be honest with you. They're fucking cooked. What do you think?
Oh, they're beyond cooked. So they've got one of the oldest defenses in the league. You got, and I'm not going to disrespect Bobby Wagner. Bobby Wagner has earned the respect of this league. He's achieved a lot, but he's way past it. They got Marcus Mariota playing quarterback, and well, Marcus is okay. He's okay, and they ruined our boy Zach Ertz, which hurts. And you got the joke. Sorry, there's two players. The Commanders have two players who I could not stand prior to them being Commanders players, which is great that they're there now, which is Deebo Samuel and Laramie Tunsil. Laramie Tunsil is the most overrated offensive lineman in the league. He's a great pass blocker, but he can't run block if his life depended on it. And Deebo Samuel really, really should go on these Ozempic ads because he's put on a bit of chunk.
Yeah. And one thing I do like about it, and this is just the reality of it, I like the fact that we're playing the Commanders twice. And then Buffalo. I feel like Oakland was a good way to get our flow back because, hey, look, when you're in a funk, sometimes you got to get your flow back. It's just the way it is. And anything in life, you know what I mean? And again, division games are always tough. Like you were saying, you put so many good stats out there. They don't have a shot. I think we blow them wide the fuck open. What do you think about Buffalo, man? You think they're frauds?
Look, I think Josh Allen is the most rocks and diamonds player I've ever seen. When he's diamond, he's phenomenal. He's a great player to watch. Like, and you'd be blind not to see it. Their defense, though, is there for the taking. So I believe our defense under Fangio can contain Josh Allen. Fangio, funny enough, when a quarterback's game is designed around running the ball, he does really well against them. He actually struggles against a quarterback that the game isn't designed but loves to break out. So, for example, people like Mahomes, Caleb Williams, who are not running quarterbacks, but they do have a little bit of pace to them. Fangio's defense tends to struggle against them. But I believe against someone like Allen, Lamar Jackson, who their game is built around their running game, we can contain them. So if we can hold them down a little bit, and I believe our defense can with the way they're playing at the moment, you got Quinyon Mitchell, and I don't know who needs to hear this, is the most underrated player in the NFL. The fact that he's not on a Pro Bowl list, between him, J.C. Horn, and Patrick Surtain, they are the three best cornerbacks in football at the moment. And he's not even on the top 10 list for the Pro Bowl, which is ridiculous. If we got Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, our D-line is starting to cook. Jordan Davis is having a breakout season, which is good to see. Jalen Phillips is disrupting. Kobe Dean is a madman.
Yes, he is.
So we got these pieces going, but we need Jalen to have a great game. We need the offense to be called correctly, and that's a big thing for me. So I'm going to give you a little bit of football kind of thing that I've noticed with the Eagles, and it's been brought up, and now it's come to fruition, but I've noticed it the whole year.
Yeah.
The Eagles get to the line of scrimmage with usually about 10 seconds to spare, which is the lowest in the NFL. So by the time they've gone on there, set their protection, called out anything, called the mic, and said, I'm going to go real football nerdy here. You're usually at 2-1-0, right? And as an offensive lineman, my greatest weapon is our cadence. If we control the cadence, we control it. But if the play clock's at 0-0, the defensive lineman is just going to tee off on the play clock because they know we have to snap the ball at 0-0. So that's one thing we need to improve. And we did a much better job against the Raiders with that. So I noticed we'll get into the line with 20, 15 seconds, which allowed Jalen to go, hey, I'm going to call out my audibles. The O-line's going to call out different protections. And then you have someone like Max Crosby, right, who's a very savvy footballer. He wasn't able to tee off on the play clock, which for the most part, we held him in check with a backup right tackle.
Yeah.
So I think that's a big thing. We need to make sure, and that's going to be tough in Buffalo because from what I hear, their fans are just as crazy as we are.
Oh, dude, they jump through tables.
Yeah.
Dude, they jump through tables, Bills Mafia. And I'll tell you a little fun fact about Pennsylvania. So in Pennsylvania, it takes about 6 hours, a little longer than that, to get from Philly to Pittsburgh, okay? In the middle there, if you go north, because the center of PA is Center County, if you go north, there's a big fan base of Buffalo Bills fans because it only takes them 3 hours. It only takes them a little bit of time to get to Buffalo Stadium than it does to get to Pittsburgh or Philly. So it's weird. Like Buffalo does have a fan base in Pennsylvania as well. And what I noticed though is, when we played them last time, Josh Allen just doesn't. He shows up when he needs to against the AFC team. I guess I feel with the NFC teams he doesn't, and that's just my bias. Even if he does win, I feel like he does have a game. But I would be ignorant to say the guy can't play football. The guy fucking lights out. He did a six touchdown game, 3 for 3, ran for 3. You can't suck and do that.
No, and look, he's never had any big weapons around him. I think he's a good quarterback, and but I believe we have the defense to stop him.
Sure. Yeah, Lane Johnson being that's a big problem. I'm getting concerned on the offensive side as he's getting older. I don't know how many more years he got. We got to fill that hole in the offseason, I think.
I believe Howie Roseman has a lot of work to do this offseason. So I'm going to highlight a few issues I can see. So you got number one, right tackle. He needs to start looking for the future. Now, I don't believe he has to fix that in the early rounds because I think Lane Johnson still does have another year left in him. But he needs to start thinking of the future with that. So maybe find a talent in the draft, maybe 3rd or 4th round, who's a little bit more of a raw project, who's got the physical aspects, but just needs a little bit of tutelage under Lane. We need to re-sign Dallas Goedert. I think that is very crucial. He's had an amazing season. He's number 2 in the league for touchdowns all round, number 1 for tight ends. Now, a lot of that is schemed up for him, but other than that drop on the weekend, he's doing a really good job. He's one of the best tight ends in the league. So re-signing Dallas Goedert. Tyler Steen has been serviceable, but I believe he's been a big factor in the downfall of our run game. He's not a great run blocker. He's excellent, not excellent. He's sufficient in pass pro. He doesn't let up too much pressure, but in run blocking, you can definitely see his deficiencies there. It's not his game, essentially. So they're the kind of the three things I believe as a team we need to do this offseason. And then the last one's a tricky one, is what do we do in the Kobe Dean?
I mean, he does have some good moments. You know what I mean? I feel that with the Kobe Dean, I would hate to see him go. I feel like he's doing good, so I would hate to see him go now, to be honest.
Coming out of the draft, coming out of Georgia, I had first, second grade on him. I thought he was a phenomenal linebacker. And unfortunately, injuries has been his downfall whilst in Philly. But if we hadn't drafted Jahad Campbell, and I think Jahad Campbell did really well, and I think he's been a little bit hard done by with the return of Nakobe. I think he's done nothing wrong. It's just Nakobe's been lights out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And go on.
No, you.
And I believe that's if we hadn't drafted Jahad Campbell, Nakobe would be re-signed. I'm on the side of probably don't re-sign him. And that's going to upset a lot of Birds fans. And I'm just thinking logically in the future. So, we've got Jahad Campbell. Zach Bourne is already signed. So that's set in stone. He's got a couple more years. Jahad Campbell is a rookie first-round pick with a lot of potential. And he showed so much in the first half of the season before Nakobe came back. Jordan Davis is going to have to be re-signed soon. And I believe he's earning that money at the moment.
Oh, he's playing out of control right now. Dude, he's playing fucking... Dude, when he blocked that kick and ran it back, that was crazy.
That was phenomenal. And I was at 5 a.m. in the morning. I was sitting in bed with my wife on my phone watching that game. I had a 3-month-old daughter at the time in bed. So I've got a 2-year-old and a 6-month-old, glutton for punishment. And I'm sitting in bed and I'm doing my best not to react. And I'm like, what is happening? Because I'm like, when that field goal was set up, I'm like, the game's over. He's going to make it. It's an easy field goal, game over. We squandered that. And then when he blocked it, I could not describe my emotions to you, but so look, he's going to have to get paid. Quignon and Cooper are going to have to get paid. And unfortunately for us, or fortunately and unfortunately, they're going to get top of the market deals because they are the top of the market cornerbacks. Yeah. So unfortunately, I think the Kobe's going to have to suffer because of that.
And you know what? Everything you said rings true, man. I mean, you talk your shit, but you have receipts to back it up, man. I appreciate that, man. And one thing about the media in Philadelphia, I'm going to keep it honest with you. When I talk to individuals like you and like myself and a lot of my friends and family and stuff like that, I mean, we keep it real, man. Like, and we say things that people don't want to hear. And everything you said rings true. And if anybody had anything to say against it, I mean, even if you went the other way, someone would say the same thing. So don't ever feel like you have to ever hold your mouth and say what you got to say. So I'll tell you what, our sports radio out here is out of control. Do you guys have sports radio out in Australia like that?
No, not to that degree. So we have more general sports radio, so it'll be a national base. So obviously we've got quite a small population in Australia compared to the US. So what would be the rough population of Pennsylvania?
I don't know Pennsylvania, but I mean, Philadelphia alone's over 1 million. And honestly, if you look at geographically, it's a little dot on the state of Pennsylvania. It's like the Southeast, it's like the Southeast Delaware County is like a little blip on the whole state,
So in Australia, we have 23 million people. And Australia is bigger than the US when it comes to size.
Yeah. I'm actually going to Google now to see how many people live in the state of Pennsylvania. Let me see here. Pennsylvania population. 13 million live in Pennsylvania alone.
So there is more people. There is more than just about half.
Yeah.
Right. Of Pennsylvania in Australia as a whole. And Australia is a large, large country. So for me to fly from it's like going from East Coast to West Coast in the US.
Mm-hmm. So one topic I wanted to get on. So in Sydney, like, what would you compare like an Eagles Cowboys rivalry in a sport? Like, what would like in any sport? Is it like the Australian rules? Is it soccer, rugby? What is like some fierce competition?
Yeah, in Sydney, rugby is the predominant sport. Mm-hmm. We're a rugby city here. We're not like we got Melbourne, who's the state down south. They're Aussie rules, and we don't care about them. They're an irrelevant state, an irrelevant sport. But in Sydney, rugby. So if we do have any Australian fans listening, I'd probably compare it to, say, like the Roosters versus Rabbitohs, which are two old organizations, a lot of history, a lot of rivalry, a lot of success in the past, not so much now. So it's kind of similar in that regard. Jordan Mailata played for the Rabbitohs.
Okay.
So that's kind of a correlation there. But yeah, look, that's probably the biggest rivalry I could compare it to. Again, the passion here isn't like it is in Philadelphia. So
you got passion, but I didn't mean to cut you off, but you got passion, man, dude. Like, you are 100% Birds fan. And I love it, man. I love that you come with the intensity. I love that you, like, I'm telling you, man, like, I would never knew you were 10,000 miles away. I feel like you're living around the corner with an accent, and we go get a beer and talk shit, man. It's awesome, man. It's just in you, man. Like, you can just tell, like, you gravitated toward the Birds, man, and you just fucking, you got it like that, man. So you definitely got it going. What's Vegemite?
So Vegemite is
my one friend told me to ask, what is it?
It's a spread that we usually put on toast.
Okay.
It is divisive. The best way I can explain it to you, a lot of people don't like it. So my wife hates it. I love it. It has its fan, it has its detractors. If you try it, you have to try it the right way. So what tends to happen, right? So you have all these American food bloggers, they'll come to Australia, or they'll do a show overseas and they'll try Vegemite. So it is a very, 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 very powerful flavor. So the best way to do it is you get a piece of toast, you put a little bit of butter on there, and then you put the very smallest bit of Vegemite. So it gives that kind of savory taste. It's not sweet. It's not like Nutella.
Yeah.
So you put a bit of the Vegemite. What tends to happen is a lot of people go and they look at it because of the color of it is quite similar to Nutella.
Gotcha.
So they go, oh, how do I put my Nutella on bread? I get a big layer and I slap it on there and take a bite. And it tastes like poison if you do that. It's quite strong. So you need to have just a little bit of it with some butter, and that tastes phenomenal. I quite enjoy it in that regard. But again, when you watch people on YouTube do it, they put a massive layer on there, and it's like, I'm a person who loves the spread. I wouldn't enjoy it like that.
Well, thank you for breaking it down for everybody that didn't know. I know if I do ever try, I'm putting like a little smear on that shit, man. A little butter, a little toast, a little smear. That's how I'm going to eat mine. Yo, man, it's been a pleasure. I'm definitely going to have you on here again, especially as the season progresses, some off-season talk. Anything else you'd like to tell the world, man?
No, look, just for the Birds fans in Philly, just let you know there is a lot of fans around the world that love this team, that support this team. And yeah, look, a thank you to the city of Philadelphia. As I said to you, when I went there, I was treated like family. So many people added me on social media and still talk to me to this day. But so thank you. Keep supporting. Do it on behalf of us. We can't be there. As much as I'd love to be in America every year, I've got 2 kids at home, 2 girls. Yeah. So traveling to the States is not as easy and cheap as it can be. So when you're cheering, when you're at the link, when you're at a tailgate, when you're cheering, cheer for us too. Think that there is some sorry sucker in Australia, 10,000 miles away, up at 3 a.m. in the morning on a Monday, cheering for the team. So when you cheer for us too. But yeah, other than that, go Birds, dickhead.
Go Birds, dickhead. Hey, everybody have a good night now.